We are in Morin, I think. Yes. Deep of the Sea of Yore, home to the Witchers of the Wolf School. There is a stash here that may actually be worthwhile for us to just throw some stuff in real quick. You're back here, right? Yeah. Well, what is... Or these swords that for so long were X'd out because they were too high level for us? Yeah, they're level 35. We weren't able to use them, although even now, even when we can use them, they're still not higher damage than our existing swords, so that's kind of funny. Okay. So, I mean, I'm actually not sure what, if anything, we would stash here, because I think for the most part we're just looking to sell stuff. We still have the Winter Blade, which was Croc's sword that we never really got the chance to return to him, sad face. I mean, is another question, is Croc dead? Given how we, again, kind of sort of rewound the clock, I'm not entirely sure how that stuff works out. But I think we'll head out. And we'll start heading over to Blood and Wine. Or not Blood and Wine, Hearts of Stone. And while we're at it, why don't we just nab this? And I think the question with Hearts of Stone is we do already have a couple of side quests for it, and we obviously have the main quest as well. So do we go straight into the main quest to lead things off, or do we go some of the side quests first? I think it might make some sense to go and at least do the first main quest mission first, just to get a sense as to, okay, what is this expansion all about? And then once we've at least gotten a taste for that, then we can slow down a little bit more, look at the side quests, start doing more of those, and take it from there. So let's save before we head out. And yeah, Kaer Morhen is quite quiet as well. None of the Wolf School Witchers. There's no Vesemir, obviously. But none of our other friends either, it would seem. So let's see. Yeah, I think it's in Novigrad, right? It's in that area northeast of Novigrad. Place where we were dabbling a little bit earlier. Had some really high-level enemies previously. All up here. Oh, yeah. Go see Olgierd von Everett about his contract. That is the main quest, right? Right. Okay, well, we should still fast travel here regardless. But want to verify that this is the main quest we're looking at, not a side quest. And we do have some fast travel spots around here, because we were exploring around here. Now, some of them I do think are fast travel spots that we ran past, had strong enemies that we didn't defeat next to. And so if we are to travel to them, then we might find ourselves, having to fight some of those enemies, perhaps unexpectedly. But let's give it a shot here. Alright, any immediate threats? Doesn't seem like it. Let's also meditate just for a couple hours here real quick, because we could use refilling some of our stuffs. And now, have we actually marked the quest? Oh, well, now let's actually check. Is this the main quest we have active? It is. So let's read up on this a bit. When Geralt later told me the story which began at the Seven Cats Inn notice board, he mentioned that he had felt drawn to that place, as if some strange, undefined force wanted him to appear there on that day and at that time. I didn't give this remark a second thought until I heard the tale of his conclusion, and realized its beginning had been no accident. And it began like this. One day, Geralt arrived at the Seven Cats Inn in search of his next contract. He perused the notices hanging there, yet found none to be of much interest, and was about to go on his way when a man came to nail a new parchment to the board. The notice announced a certain Olgierd von Everett, residing in a nearby Garen estate, was looking for someone to kill a dangerous monster lurking in the Oxenford sewers. Sounds like a job for me, thought Geralt, and he set off to see this Olgierd and learn more about the contract. Little did he know, this was to be the beginning of a great adventure, one filled with both delightful diversions and deadly dangers. Okay. So something that starts off as a simple little quest, but perhaps turns into something much more. We'll just have to see. But yeah, like I said, we are definitely expecting for any enemies we encounter here to be significantly stronger. There is this. Hold on. Where exactly is this? Is this the place where Dandelion was trapped? And then we had to go through that little trapdoor to find another way in here? I feel like that might have been the case. There is a question mark here and an abandoned site. I think it's going to be, again, relatively high level. It might be worth trying this. Remind ourselves of what kind of difficulty we're looking at. I mean, it should be pretty... I think a pretty natural step from the previous... Oh, we did try this place out. Previously, I think it was too strong for us. Whoa. But yeah, given how we have, of course, now completed the main quest, I think this should be just about the right level for us here. Yeah, level 33 Fallen Knights. We have fought them before. That we have. But it was a different type of experience. I'm hoping that, you know, now that we are actually higher level than them, this should be relatively straightforward. Let's put on the Hangman's Venom. For some extra damage. Can you cleanse still? No, we don't. Well, now we do. Excuse you. He's casting spells! They're taking us out! I see you. Please don't block me like that. It's rude. Actually, not even the guy I was trying to attack. And also, you're... hold on. This. Could even actually some of these guys. What you doing? You running away? You are. Like some silly billies. There are some archers as well. We should do this. That's actually the archer that broke our Quinn there. Can you stop blocking? Alright, really? That's it. Enough of that. Now for this guy. Probably same deal with you. Yeah, it is dropping a surprising amount of frames here. I'm not entirely sure why that's happening. Or not the stream, it's actually the game is getting framey for some reason. So I'm experiencing that as well. Barely sidestep that. Okay, hold on. That I was hoping would have been a little bit more. I hear the arrow about to hit us. Maybe we just get you first. Maybe we just get you first. Tell you the truth. Then we can focus on you. And do... Oh, I went for the strong attack. Try to finish you off. Okay, well, that'll do it. And it was an abandoned site. And even the dogs can re-inhabit it. Nice. Area liberated. Okay, now if we loot some of their stuff. Sword of the Flaming Rose sword. Yeah. And they say Fallen Knight, but as one perhaps might have suspected, they are technically from the Order of the Flaming Rose. Oh, orders for cleanup unit? What is this? To Eric von Kidden. It shall be brief, as the matter is simple. The issue of Krister Hagen must be resolved in a manner both complete and final. The village that served as a safe haven for the Imperial snitch must be burnt to the ground, surrounding fields sown with salt. Drive the women and children off, hang all the men. M. M just sounds like a wonderful person, wonderful human being. Hopefully, M does not stand for merchant.
Sturdy craftsmanship at a reasonable price.
Okay, let's see what this guy has, though.
Show me what you have on offer.
Because we have picked up some junky stuff that we perhaps would like to sell. Also, just make sure you didn't have any diagrams over there, but I think that's just normal little parchment. Now, I mean, in theory, this, of course, would be stuff that's more valuable to sell to a blacksmith or whatnot, although not really sure up in this area if we're going to find... Alright, well, of course, we haven't really been here before, so don't know. We could go back to Hattori to sell for more to him. Yes, true. I suppose we have enough weapons that maybe that is actually the way to go.
So long.
But I am curious about what this question mark is. Is it up here? Hidden treasure? Oh, hold on. Hold on just a second. What do we have here? Oh, okay. Now these have blue exclamation points, not yellow exclamation points. This is the first time we've ever seen that. I suspect that just means that this is going to trigger some kind of quest that is technically supposed to be part of Hearts of Stone, and that's why it's blue. Let's read the letter. Field Agent 12... actually, I don't even remember what E is for Roman numerals, but... very high number. Alias Beanpole. Executing Order 1-22245, according to Procedure 46D, to be delivered personally to the commander of the Intelligence Cell Cardinal. The Renegade Knight's trail leads to the Novigrad region. They took control of a nearby Fizdek manufactory upon arrival. Possibly, this was what brought them to the region. Have occupied prime observation position. Drop box has been prepared. In case of unforeseen complications, the agent sent to track us down will find it in the pond, visible from the observation tower near the village of Warren. Not Cairmorn, Morin. Regarding the knights, here a big risk might reap big rewards. We suggest offering them Imperial gold for their services. With Radvid having dispersed their order, the knights prowl the land like common bandits, scavenging for their upkeep. And they now hate HRM Radvid. His Royal Majesty? Yeah. With a violent passion. Never mind the fact that he's dead. They'd gladly take our coin, and even more gladly destabilize the Redanian army's rear guard. This they do far better than any partisans worth considering. Agent Shinetop is still out on his mission. No word from him for several days, waiting for future instructions. Postscript written in blood. Wait in hell, Nilfgaard. And you're next, Agent Shinetop. Tinker, Hunter, Soldier, Spy. Ah, okay. What happened to the tailor? So, we do have a couple of side quests already for Hearts of Stone. We could still try to do Free Spirit, but Treasure Hunt, yeah, is technically what this qualifies as. The nature of Geralt's trade means finding corpses is a normal part of a day's work. This time, the body was found atop an observation tower near the village of Morin. Upon closer inspection, Geralt found the man's throat had been slit and had some highly interesting papers in his pockets. The letter revealed the man had been a Nilfgaardian spy. Disguised as a tinkerer named Krister, he had been following the movements of knights from the disbanded order. It seems Krister had not exercised due caution, for his spy career had been cut short by a slash of Renegade Knight's blade. The most interesting information in the letter, however, concerned the location of the considerable stash of coin Nilfgaard had devoted to this spying operation. Might be worth checking out. Do we have it active right now? We don't, do we? We do that. Ah. We have this fast travel spot already. So in theory we've been here, but we don't know if this is, I suspect this is probably one of the places where we were previously, but the enemies around here were too high level for us to actually check it out. Even if there is an entrance here of some variety. So maybe we take a little detour to check that out. But perhaps we'll just take another minute here to make sure we've done everything in and around here. Oh, loot from one of the knights we took out. Oh. Oh, maybe a hunter, but we can't really talk to you about anything.
Yes?
Hello. I'd like to steal your belongings.
Mind the guards. They're worse than thugs.
Well, I mean, we did take out thugs, in a way, in order to free you from this place, or get you back to this place. So I hope they aren't worse. Oh. And a diagram as well. Wow. Rated runes. Wow. What the heck? It's quite the stash you got here. Alderman's journal. Pages crusty with blood. Only last entry legible. Don't like that vagrant old man, Sheriff's, letting a room to. Introduced himself politely enough, calling himself Krister. Ah, this is the spy we heard about. Saying he was a tinker from Oxenfurt, come to escape the hue and cry of the big city. Something about him stinks of lies to my nose. He don't look like the peace-searching kind, more like the peace-disturbing sort. Trouble, I'm telling you. No doubt knocked up some maid in town, or worse, did one in. Looks like a killer to me. He's as much a tinker as I'm an Ophiri enchanter. He don't tend to know normal labors, just wanders the woods and, of course, keeps asking about those guys in red armor. Gods, please, don't let this scoundrel bring us more misfortune. Yeah. Give us some more information on the quest we were just doing, or is that just the... Can you not make that sound? But, might just give us more information about the dude that we were learning about previously. And take a quick look at the diagram that we picked up. It's an S. Steiger. I thought I remember that name as potentially being something decent. Thought we'd seen it in the past. Yeah, here it is. It's level 37. So at least for that reason. Oh, and critical hit damage bonus plus 75. That's basically it. Just higher base damage, primarily because it's a higher level, and the crit damage bonus, so it's actually not bad. We could potentially consider making it, although I think that it's possible for this to drop directly from enemies. And Negotiator, we can now do. This is an item from The Witcher 2, or at least the name of a sword from The Witcher 2. Armor piercing, crit chance, chance to stun. Yeah, so some of the big ones, even if they aren't technically Griffin sword, or not Griffin, but Witcher swords, more generally, if they're high enough level, there are some interesting ones here, like Harpy, again, sword that is technically from The Witcher 2. This one has a higher level, and therefore higher damage. And chance to bleed is not as interesting to us as what we'd get from Steiger, I don't think. But it's worth keeping an eye out for some of those items, like even the Weeper, high-level swords and armors that we maybe weren't even thinking about using in the past when we were having our sights set on going all out on the Witcher School stuff. Because eventually, I think we can upgrade Witcher School things again, somewhere, somehow. But we, at the moment, have the strongest version of the Witcher gear that we can craft, at least as of right now. So until we get that subsequent round of upgrades for the Witcher gear, it may, for at least a brief moment, be preferable to be on one of the higher level pieces of gear like Steiger once we do reach a level 37. We'll see. We shall see. Okay, and so yeah, I think we were gonna go for the loot next. So let's, okay, we do have our custom marker there still. So let's walk on over there. See what else we might find along the way. Because yeah, we have explored some of this area previously when we were going out around here when we were far too low of a level. So we've seen a somewhat surprising amount of this stuff. But many of the enemies here we may not have fought because they were going to be too strong for us. Like, what? are these guys over here? Sound like insectoids of some variety? Oh. Arachnomorph? That's a first level 34. Wow. Can we save real quick? I have no idea what this thing is. I mean, some kind of insectoid, yes, but this sounds like it could be dangerous. Let's try it. I can't even see you? Whoa, what was that? Some kind of poison attack, I assume that you probably shot at us from a distance and we just blocked it because we happen to have point on. But I didn't actually see what it was, nor did I actually see you very much. Okay, there was the projectile attack. Can we actually see you, please? I'd love if we could, you know, stop running, basically. You don't have a lot of HP. So yeah, now we can at least learn. Oh, you are very much a spider. I don't like it. I don't like it. Probably an insectoid, right? Arachnomorph. E. Spider shall never lie down with the fly. Very proverb. Similar saying could gain ground in our land concerning arachnomorphs and everything unable to flee from them, meaning most every creature in the world. True, tillers of the earth and fellers of trees need not fear them in their daily labors, for arachnomorphs, as distant, post-conjunction cousins of the common spiders, strongly prefer deep, dark caves and unfrequented sodden swamps. Anyone who does come across them, however, had best hope his conscience is clear and his worldly affairs are in order, for his life shall soon end, as not even the fastest man in the world can outrun them, and only a few witchers can hope to slay them. Even worse are the more aggressive and dangerous kind known as arachnomorph colossi, presumably much bigger, which are capable of devouring an entire ox in seconds. Okay. So insectoid oil, ard, and axi. We haven't seen too many enemies that for which axi is the preferred sign. Mostly just the algals and really nothing else. I think there were more of these guys as well. I think there were multiple. Let's throw on our oil in preparation for fighting more of them. Let's check. That's fine. 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 I'm guessing most of these guys are the same type of enemy. So we're about to find out. Think so. Yep. Now remember, it will shoot from far away.
Stench.
Like that. Or we may have just attracted the attention of another one. We did. This is a problem. We didn't actually see them how much damage they could deal if we took them out very quickly. And I'd kind of like to keep it that way. Ooh. Dodge in all over the place. They shoot that very frequently. Okay, well, we're gonna have to imagine it. That's poison attack, right? Please stop doing that. Please stop doing that. Just stand still. Just stand still. I mean, they were talking about how no one can run away from them, or no one can escape them. They're fast. They are fast. This much is true. Do they drop anything particularly interesting? Blue mutagens are not really interesting, no. Venom extract does make sense, but I think there are plenty of ways for us to get that. And they're high-level enemies, so if nothing else, there's that. So like we could potentially get some decent experience out of it. That might be the best thing to come from it. If you want to actually just let us attack you, that's great. That's much more straightforward in that case. Monster hair kind of shell. You get the hair from sirens, and you get the shells from other more straightforward insectoids, so these at the moment, not really seeing anything particularly special loot-wise from them. I'm guessing this is the final one. I mean, I'd kind of like to know how much experience we're getting from them. We're on 199 right now. I just did Quinn. Did not need that. 199. Now, this one down. Oh. Yeah, 20 experience is not bad. That's actually quite good. I mean, most enemies give very little. And that's almost as much as a small quest. And we'll get 25 out of some quests. So that's definitely not bad. And we're headed to that treasure spot, right? Yeah. Getting close. Okay. We should reactivate this, though. Is it not active right now? Why is there no... Oh, it's further down. It's not... This is just the isolated hut. Okay, further to the residence down there. I'm surprised. They're level 34 enemies that close to a place where we did end up going for one of the main quest missions. We went to this spot for the dandelion rescue. Right there. But perhaps, you know, the assumption was basically as soon as you go there, you're not going to stick around much. We'll keep our eyes peeled for other interesting things like that, new types of enemies, and whatnot. But no, I'm not a big fan of the new spider enemies. That much I can say with confidence. Who is this guy? The traveling merchant? Hello?
Greetings.
We have talked to you before. I mean, yes, we do have a lot of things to sell. This is true. But we were saying that maybe there's enough things to sell that we'd like to do that with IBR instead. Get a little bit of a better deal out of it. I don't think we're about to reach... we're close-ish to reaching our capacity, our carrying capacity. But I'm hoping that we'll still be able to get this done. I mean, we could. Yeah. Could fast travel here to quickly pay IBR a visit. It could happen. Maybe that is for the best. That way we don't have to be concerned about it at all when we're going on this treasure hunt. In case there's like a bunch of really good stuff. We don't want to have to cut ourselves short. That'd be unfortunate, you know? That was cool. As soon as we were walking over the bridge, you could see the guy in the little canoe going through. Okay, so has anything changed in Novigrad? I think this is our first time in Novigrad since completing the game. So it's not out of the question that something could change here. But I think there are still a bunch of guards around here. Yeah, so it's unlike many other places, this may not have gotten any easier to loot the various chests out in the open. The main reason why we're here is just to sell to IBR. Or really anyone else around here.
Greetings, Geralt. How might I be of help?
The other armor.
What do you have on offer?
Okay, so... And also IBR is rich, so we can actually sell a bunch of stuff. Let's sell the very basic things that are probably not going to break down into anything interesting. So the Wild Hunt Warrior Sword, actually, let's take a quick look when we dismantle that. Does that turn into anything decent, or is that just normal stuff? I mean, Dark Steel is, like, it's kind of okay. But, like, this stuff is... Sapphire Dust, you might have my attention on that one. This is the sword that we got from the final boss. So... yeah, that is probably worth a fair bit to sell, but at the same time, we can get a full amethyst out of it, which is nice. Our rule of thumb with the relic rarity swords is usually if it breaks down into a full-blown gemstone, then it's worth doing that. Whereas if it just gives us dust, then we don't. And this is Croc's sword, so I'd still rather not break it down. But yeah, I think in that case, we'll break you down. Let's just double check how much that is actually worth. Because I think it will sell for a lot. My guess is that's probably one of the most valuable swords. 900, 18, and and we get a sapphire out of it. Let's just check what the value of a sapphire is. Do you sell them? You probably don't, to tell you the truth. Probably don't. Also, we sold all of our things that we got from traveling the 7 Seas of Skellige to you, so you have a very large inventory here. This is a flawless sapphire. That's not the kind we'd get. Or, no, it was an amethyst. Not a sapphire, it was this. It's worth 526. So it is not quite as valuable as just selling the sword. So we actually sell the sword. I mean, there are other ingredients we get out of it, yes, but I mean, that's 900. That's significantly more than the value of what we get by bringing this down to components. So I think we sell it. And then I think we sell the other swords as well, other than Croc Sword. So an IBR should be able to afford all this. And we should make a decent sum off of selling this stuff, I would think. You know, 60,000 coins has sort of been our threshold. Been in and around that for a long time. Whenever we buy stuff, we usually go a little bit below it. Whenever we sell stuff, we'll go a little bit above it. But I'd like to more sustainably get higher than that. We're at 62,000 here, which is not that much higher.
So long.
No, I don't think we've ever broken the 70,000 mark. I'm pretty sure we haven't. So if we can make it there, that'd be nice to actually feel like we're making progress when it comes to selling stuff and making money, rather than just sort of as soon as we buy or as soon as we sell stuff, we end up buying things, and then you know, we aren't actually on net gaining anything. Also, I totally did not go in the right direction. So let's head back over to... Hold on. I've succeeded in going in circles. Let's mark this. We'll go there. And just wave to IBR. It's like, Carol, just selling to you a minute ago. What are you doing? Madman. But we'll head back and see if we can loot some stuffs over at that spot. Uncouth. And it is worth fast traveling here, I think, because we got a fast travel spot that is right next to the spot we're looking for. Right here. So I don't know to what extent that might mean that we've already, you know, like, fought off enemies around here, like that ferocious cat, or explored this area, generally speaking, or if this is going to be entirely new grounds. What's on the brain? No, I'm actually drinking water. I'll have you know. Alright, so let us see here. Are we supposed to dive in the water?
Not good.
I think I found it. I think I found it. Hello? Hold on. Oh, we don't even need to dive under to get it. Diagram Faustino. Don't know what that is. Zeracanian saddlebags, I think, are tied for the best saddlebags. Somewhat significant amount of coins and decent crafting materials as well. Let's just double check what the deal is with that sword, I would think, perhaps. Faustino. Yeah, 37 as well. Ooh. Crit damage bonus and crit chance. I like it. Level 37 means better base damage than the weapon that we're using right now, although we can't yet equip it, so... Perhaps a question for future lids. Do we want to use that? Maybe? Perhaps? Okay, and that means that we are done with that treasure hunt. And... Thought this was... I mean, all this stuff is going to be right around here, I think, because I'm pretty sure that, in general, the Hearts of Stone DLC is basically all this northeastern section here. And like I said, we've dabbled in it a bit. Basically, just fought off the occasional enemy and gotten to several of the fast travel spots, but on several occasions had to immediately retreat when we found ourselves very much in over our heads. But it does mean that, wow. I mean, yeah, we did talk to this guy previously. In fact, accidentally, for a minute, started this quest, and we were like, this is technically part of the DLC. We don't really want to be doing that. And then we kind of wound back the clock for that. But now could be the time to make that happen. I'm just wondering, like, do we want to go side quests first? Or do we want to go and just dive straight into things, at least at the very beginning, and get a better sense as to what is this DLC all about? Because, you know, if we're just exploring, doing treasure hunts and secondary quests, then it's going to feel like, you know, just the same types of side quests that we might have encountered in the base game. Or maybe there are some variations on what we would normally see, but I think the place where the DLC is actually going to start to feel most different is probably in the main quest, or the main quest of the DLC, I should say, in which we presumably get to see what the overarching idea or the overarching plot is of this DLC. So that could be worth checking out. Yeah, I think we go for that. Let's go for that. So let's see. And had we read this one? We did. We did read that. Okay. So let's head over in that direction. And let's see what we can find here. Now, how far is this? It's walkable. It's somewhat far to perhaps justify taking a roach, yes, although when we're going across a place for the first time, I do tend to prefer to go on foot, because I feel like when we're on roach, we speed past some things, we might miss them. I'm curious, I mean, these are obviously wolves, but like, what level? Oh, it's level 5. Okay, that's not interesting. I thought we saw, at one point in time, there were some level 30-something wolves, or maybe just 28 in this area, and again, like, just... Ooh, Iron Spring range, okay? Just any enemies that are in around level 30 at this point are perhaps worth fighting, because that's decent experience. You know, it's hard to come across enemies that are that level at this stage. At least was previously. Now that we're going all the way into the DLCs, perhaps that's going to become commonplace. Okay, now we have a marker for this, so that's cool. I'm actually curious to read what this says. What is the deal with this location? Years ago, an eccentric count named Jacobus Ruth of the Rieslings settled here. Count could not stand the pomposity of port life, but loved good wine. He thus planted a vineyard here, which produces a fabulous... Okay, I will readily admit that I know nothing about wine. I don't know how to pronounce that word. It probably is in French, or at least influenced by French, but that's prized on both sides of the Pontar. Okay. None of you are technically the people we're supposed to talk to now. There are guards here, so we probably can't loot that stuff safely. For that matter, but let's see what's inside. Now we can loot your rotting flesh, because why wouldn't we?
Shit instead of doing some honest work.
Excuse me? Watch your mouth, lady. Also, clearly this place is cursed, because those are floating. And broken. I didn't do that. That was like that when I got in here. That's not my fault. That's your fault. We got problems, lady. We got problems. You're just staring at us from outside? Oh, man. Like we saw that, girl.
Stop staring at the kids. You're scaring them.
Sorry, you're staring at us.
The storm, damn it.
Okay, for a second there I was thinking that this was going to be something of plot significance that Carol was about to say. No, it's not. Okay, let's head on up here. I mean, is this even the village that we're supposed to be going to, or is this just a place we happen to come across in between? Oh yeah, this is actually not the place we're looking for just yet. We need to go further. Okay. Beyond. What are you doing? Okay. And again, we'll run this one just in case we find anything interesting along the way. I think that is generally much easier to do on foot than on horseback. Here insectoids does make me think it could be more of the spider-like enemies we encountered previously. But yeah, it sounds more like Intrigas, and it is, and they are not particularly interesting if they're level 9. You can find you just about anywhere. You are not particularly rare or interesting or rewarding. I swear. Trees sometimes are so loud, they make you think that there are some enemies, some big enemies coming. Oh. That may be the place we're looking for, although might be on the edge of it. Did we get a fast travel spot for this? No, that's got to be this place down to the south. Okay. There's a traveling merchant here, but question mark on our way here. This might be worth trying to check out first. Let's go for that. Slightest of detours does take us back a little bit more toward the Intrigas we were scoffing at previously. I'm guessing this might even be a monster nest, especially since we're seeing some monsters in this area already.